Welcome to the Living to Thrive with Cancer podcast. I'm Catherine White, a stage 4 colon cancer thriver and holistic cancer coach who is on a mission to support other women living with cancer. In today's episode, I'm talking about health and the question, what is health? I want to look at this idea through the lens of cancer because oftentimes when you've been given a cancer diagnosis, the focus becomes surviving and just doing what you have to do. But I want to back it up a bit and look at this concept of health and how it can apply to your life with cancer. So I want to really talk about this question, what is health? And what you can start doing today to get your health back on track and to feel empowered to be the healthiest version of yourself. So let's get started. So let's begin with the question, what is health? The World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Now, before I get into the content around different types of health, I want to say that you can have health and well-being when you have cancer. Your body is obviously going through a dis-ease situation, and that physical health will have an impact on your mental and social health. That's just a fact. When I talk with my clients about how they're feeling, they often talk about what they are experiencing physically, but they also share what's happening in their emotional world. Health, as defined by the World Health Organization, uses the word complete. And I would argue that none of us have complete health physically, mentally, and socially. That's a big ask. What I would say is that each of these pieces is relative to what you're going through. Physical health may be that you are in an active state of dis-ease treatment so that you have active cancer, but you may be feeling pretty okay physically. Or you might be following healthy lifestyle practices that support your physical health and you may just be feeling pretty darn good. Or you may be in a place of no evidence of disease, so quote unquote healthy, but still be experiencing physical issues related to your cancer treatments. So the question is this complete health? Now, if you've been with me for a bit, you will know that I'm all about mindset. My mantra from the beginning has been, I am happy, I am healthy. And I don't want you to subscribe to self-limiting thoughts. So to say that health is a state of complete is a self-limiting thought. Let me say that again. To say that health is a state of complete is a self-limiting thought. We all know that there's a lot that happens in your body, mind, and spirit when you have cancer. And you may already be feeling like your body has failed you, or you didn't do enough to stay healthy, or that the overwhelming state of sadness and grief is weighing you down. So to tack on to that to be healthy, you need to be completely well is, I think, not really achievable even for the non-cancer people out there. To say complete really puts how you view yourself in a box with a label. And I'm not about labels that aren't supportive of you moving from survivor to thriver. Mindset matters. How you talk to yourself, view yourself, and treat yourself can be health supportive. But it makes me ask the question, are any of us really completely healthy? When I was doing some looking into this term health, I came across the concept of the 7 dimensions of health. And I want to walk through them and relate them to cancer because I found them very interesting on their own. And then as I started to think of them through that lens of cancer, it was really interesting to unpack them and see what that looked like. So let's start with talking about physical health. According to these 7 dimensions, physical health is the well-being of the body and the proper functioning of the body, both physically and mentally, in respect to not suffering from any type of sickness. But also, physical health could be the ability to perform daily tasks and live comfortably in your body. This last part, the ability to perform daily tasks and live comfortably in your body, comes closer to what life can look like when you have cancer, in my opinion. In my can-do world that I'm sharing with you, there's such a range of what you can do depending on where you are in your cancer process. You can do daily tasks. This may be as small as getting up in the morning to as big as being physically active with exercise. And what you can do will be based around what is comfortable for you in your body. but it will also be based around how you perceive yourself and recognizing your personal limitations. Physical health, in my mind, is you doing what you can when you can to support yourself and your healing process. It is you being in tune with your body and believing that health isn't a state of perfection, but a state of mind. It's relative to your disease, and it is also how you choose to see yourself. And this leads really nicely into this next piece, which is emotional health. According to these 7 dimensions of health, emotional health is one aspect of mental health. It's your ability to cope with both positive and negative emotions, which includes your awareness of them. Emotionally healthy people have good coping mechanisms for negative emotions, and they also know when to reach out for professional help. And emotional wellness is tied to physical health. People who experience great amounts of stress and negative emotions will sometimes develop health problems. So the question is, how does this relate to you? Well, it comes back to mindset. Learning how to manage your thoughts and emotions is key in life with cancer. To support your body, you need to support your mind, and vice versa. If you go back to episode 2.7 of the podcast, where I was talking about expressing your emotions as exceptional healing patients, this piece around emotional health makes sense. When you can notice and navigate your emotions, you will be supporting not just your mental health, but also your physical health. Managing your emotional health will help you to go through the difficult moments with a level of awareness that can make things just a little bit better. And the more you learn to manage your emotions, the better you get at it. This isn't about suppressing emotions. This is feeling all the feels and working through them. And this emotional piece links nicely to our next type of health, which is intellectual health. Intellectual health and wellness includes being open to new ideas, thinking critically, and seeking out new learning opportunities and challenges. It's being creative and stimulating the mind and can involve your commitment to lifelong learning. So how does this relate to cancer? Exceptional healing patients are active in their treatment plan. They question and they lean into their intuition. These are the people that don't accept their diagnosis at face value. They do the emotional health piece of asking for help and are open to learning and growing in order to support their health. Now, in Chinese, the word crisis actually means dangerous opportunity. And so exceptional patients want to find and learn more about themselves. They get curious and they take this opportunity to dig into this intellectual health piece. So this may be where you find yourself feeling empowered, which can support your self-belief, which is also part of navigating cancer. Next is environmental health. Environmental health focuses on the relationships between people and their environment. It promotes human health and well-being and fosters healthy and safe communities. Environmental health is a key part of a complete public health system, or so saith the definition. Here's where I think we are often failed as cancer patients. Cancer is a whole person experience. It's not just about locating, extracting, and treating the cancer. It is about you, the person, and the complete life change that you're experiencing. You need a whole environment healing support system. When you have cancer, your environment is so important. There is your physical environment that can include education around health building foods and movement and mindfulness practices to support the healing process. And there's also your lifestyle as related to yourself. Environmental health would include education around toxic household products, encouragement to move your body, stress management, overall wellness practices, and holistic modalities that support your body, mind, and spirit. And then there's your interpersonal relationships. In episode 1.14, I talked about the people in your life and how they are navigating your diagnosis. Positivity and support matter so much when you are learning how to create self-belief and when you're doing the work to be present and find joy in your life. This can be hard work and it requires your people to be on board. Health building relationships are so important. The energy vampires that drain you with their sadness and cancer-related stories that don't end well are not part of environmental health. And this is a big area that I really feel needs a lot of work from the support system so that you can create your path from survivor to thriver. And the next category is also an interesting one, and it's about vocational health, as in your work. So just to explain this a little bit, vocational wellness is a bit subjective in that it involves your feelings, and it's about your perception and attitude and outlook and reaction to the work that you do and take part in. It's the ability to achieve personal satisfaction and fulfillment from your work, maintain balance in your life, and make a positive impact where you work and the community where you live. All right, let's dissect that a little bit. A vocationally well person strives to balance work and non-work obligations and activities, including learning how to say no to maintain balance. Now, when I got sick, like many of you, I stepped away from my job. I wasn't able to work, and eventually I left my job completely because I knew that I just couldn't go back. However, prior to leaving my job, I went on disability. I had to fight with my school board to get put on disability. When I needed all of my energy to go towards getting through the initial stages of diagnosis, my energy was spent on trying to explain the seriousness of my diagnosis, and I wouldn't be able to work. It was a real mess. It was a complete mess. And I was recently asked how I made the decision to quit my job, or as I like to say, retire myself from my job. So looking at this definition of vocational health, I see now that my decision was related to feeling valued and supported by my employer, and my uncertainty that I would be able to find balance that leaned heavily towards my health as opposed to work. My full-time job became getting better and doing everything I could to support my body and my mind and my spirit, and that eventually allowed me to land here as a cancer coach, and I have not looked back. Now, for many of you, you may still be working or have gone back to work after a time away. I recently had a discussion with a beautiful soul who shared with me her fears around going back to work, her fears around not being able to do her job, about her memory failing her, about having to leave the room when things get overwhelming and not being understood. And again, I think this is a part of the system that fails cancer patients. Returning to work is a big decision. It requires support from the employer and your peers. Just because you have physically completed the process of treatment, and just because you don't look sick, doesn't mean there aren't underlying physical and emotional factors. So I come back to that idea that a vocationally well person strives to balance work and non-work obligations and activities, including learning how to say no to maintain that balance. That can be hard when you are still trying to navigate what just happened and the fear that you won't measure up or won't be able to do your job like you used to. There's a lot of factors here around this idea of health. So next up is social health. And again, if we come back to where I gathered this information around health that I thought was a really good perspective on breaking it down in all these different pieces, social health says that people who have healthy relationships and a strong social network tend to live longer and respond better to stress. This reduction in stress and anxiety results in a healthier body or systems and an enhanced immune system. All right, let's talk about this. Surrounding yourself with people who are able to get where you are and love and support you where you are is so important. Part of this is being able to ask for help. In episode 3.4, I talked about how asking for help is a superpower. Feeling supported cannot just reduce your physical load, it can also reduce your emotional load and your stress. So this social piece is actually a really important part of your health, but it can be a tricky one to navigate. I want to offer to you that it's okay to have fun and to laugh, because these two things actually support your immune system. You're allowed to have fun and enjoy social time, but there's also a lot of guilt around that and a lot of shame around, but I'm sick and so I'm not supposed to be having fun. That's not true. That is not a rule. Somebody made that statement up. I invite you to step outside of your Cancer world and allow yourself to do the things you want to do and to have fun and to laugh and enjoy your time. This is good for your stress and stress reduction. Feeling less stress is so good for you on so many levels. So embrace this social health and do the things that you can do and live your life right here in the moment. And the last health is spiritual health. Spiritual wellness acknowledges our search for a deeper meaning in life. And when we're spiritually healthy, we feel more connected to not only a higher power, but to those around us, whatever your higher power is, whether that's God, spirit, the universe, whatever that means for you. But it allows you to feel more connected. And you can have more clarity when it comes to making your everyday choices, and your actions can become more consistent with your beliefs and your values when you have spiritual health. So many spiritual practices have a long history of using inward reflection to increase spiritual connection, compassion, empathy, and attention. And these can just be simple things like reading and reflecting, prayer, meditation, or even keeping a journal. These are all pieces that can help you to get more in touch with yourself and start doing the inner work that can help you to heal what is going on in your life, inside and outside. I encourage my clients to do inner work, and I support them as they do it. A great tool that I've discovered and that I recommend to all of my clients to help you get started is Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. It's an easy read and really offers great insight into not just how, but why healing yourself from the inside out can make a difference. So, to bring it back to the exceptional healing patient, it is about making changes that allow you to get unstuck and move forward. Being stuck can be very limiting and difficult to get out of when you don't know what to do. Staying stuck doesn't allow you to envision possibility and create new beliefs. There's a lot of talk about physical healing when it comes to cancer, but I, for one, can testify to the power of doing the inner work and the peace that can come from it. And my clients that explore mindfulness practices and mindset see what is possible when you stop seeing yourself as the diagnosis and remember that you're a real person going through a real life situation. So these are the different styles of health or types of health, however you want to frame that. But what's important to talk about also is that there are things that you can start doing today to get your health back on track and to feel empowered to become your healthiest version of yourself, no matter where you are in your cancer story. So I encourage you to go back and listen to those 7 types of health and really think about how each of them applies to you. But then I want to invite you to also consider that your health is a whole person experience. So each of those pieces plays an important role and requires nurturing. Having a better understanding of yourself, of how you relate to yourself, of stress in your life and what stress looks like and feels like can help you to move forward. Understanding who you are and what's happening inside of yourself can help you to connect to more calm in your life and to mitigate health issues that can come up when you don't manage stress. Stress is a really critical factor in our health, and we need to talk about it more, and we need to learn more about how to manage it. So I encourage you to go back to that section on spiritual health and really start looking at what can you do to find inner peace. Gaining an understanding of the importance of healthy eating and the impact that it has on your health and happiness is also a key factor in feeling empowered in your health and supporting your body. Exploring and learning the benefits of movement and meditation for finding calm and stress relief in your daily life is a great step towards reducing your cortisol levels, that stress hormone, and increasing your health and building happiness. There are tools that are available to you, as I've already mentioned, that can help you to take those first steps. And you have to find tools that feel right for you and that resonate with you and that are accessible to you. It's not meant to be a complicated process. It can start with a breath. It can start with getting out in nature. It can start with drinking water. It can start with acknowledging that you don't have to do this alone, because you don't have to do cancer alone. There are things available to you. So I want to just talk to you about these tools that are available to you that can help you to take these first steps. When you have all of the information that you need, you can start to build your own lifestyle blueprint that will allow you to bring in practices that feel good and right in your body, that can help you to regain your energy, that can help you to nourish your health, and that can help you to combat your stress. You can make changes in your life and feel supported. So my passion for rebuilding my own health and for helping women like you who want to reclaim your life and transform your health is at the heart of a program that I offer called Living to Thrive. It's a 6-month investment in yourself to learn more about navigating these health pieces that we've talked about here today. It includes modules to help you put into action supporting your body, your mind, and your spirit, tools to help you move through my 5-step Thrive Her success path so that you can develop that lifestyle blueprint based on your needs and what you want and feel is good for you. And we meet twice a month for group coaching calls so you can learn and grow from other cancer thrivers. And really at the heart of it is you getting the support that you deserve and creating the belief that you can be a cancer thriver. If this feels like something you're interested in, you want to explore, you can just head over to the link in the show notes or to katherinewhite.coach/living to thrive and just check out the program, see if it resonates with you, and see if this is a space that you're ready to drop into to learn more about becoming a thriver. So I just want to wrap up with coming back to that idea that you can have health and well-being when you have cancer. Health is not about being perfectly healthy. It is about creating a healthful life that includes all of the parts that we talked about today. These pieces can be put together to help you to become your healthiest version of yourself, and that is my hope for you. You don't have to let a diagnosis control your life. There are things that you can do to start supporting yourself, and I'm excited to share them with you in my signature group program, Living to Thrive. And friends, if you have enjoyed this episode or other episodes that you've listened to, I would really appreciate it if you would leave a review wherever you're listening. This helps me to reach more people like you who are looking for support and guidance and a different way to live with cancer. Hit subscribe. Make sure you follow the podcast so you can gather the tools and strategies that you can bring into your thriving life. Thanks for being here today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and may you live your life to your fullest, follow your heart, and thrive in all you do.